everyone. Welcome to today's episode where you are going to hear all about the power of kindness and how a small gesture can go a long way. But not only that, some exciting things that my guest today has to share with you about her journey and just the unfolding of some things around this whole area of kindness that will really bring life and healing and hope and hopefully inspire you that nothing is too small, that even the smallest thing can make the biggest impact in someone's life. So my guest today is Teresa Ramirez. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, you did.
So good to have you, Teresa.
No, it's great to be here. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so Teresa and I met through the Girl Power Alliance, the Kingdom Alliance, and specifically when Teresa just went through the Kingdom Speaker Academy and went on to get certified as a KIM10 speaker. So she is a certified speaker. Way to go. So exciting. And I thoroughly enjoyed your message, but all that you carry. And so, first of all, I wanted to chat today about your book. And if you could tell us a little bit about how that came about for you to write this book and what this book is about.
Yes, absolutely. And it's my platform is Journey in Kindness, and the book was a journey. It was a journey, and I had to obey God as we went along. And it started in 2018 with a school shooting. And God, I literally sat down. He said, "You have to write a letter," and I entitled it "Dear Students." And I grieved with them. I empathized with them. And then I said, but hey, you can do something. Sit with that kid that's all alone at lunch. You know, if somebody drops their pencils or books in the hall, help them pick them up. Just little things so that they don't feel alone. And then I took that letter and set it aside because I didn't know what to do with it. I went, it's like, now what? And a year later, get it out, you know, that poke, nudge, and thought about a 21-day kindness challenge came up. And what do kids each day come up with a challenge for the child as they go through their day? Who do they encounter? Well, when you wake up, you encounter mom and dad. When you wake up, your siblings. It could be, then next it could be the bus driver. And then you get to school and it could be teachers and principals, cafeteria workers, the custodians, the what I call invisible people that take care of a lot of things and you never see them.
Wow.
And each one was a challenge for each of those individuals, that they had to be kind in some way to those individuals.
Wow.
And then it's just taken from there. And I got to do some speaking engagements with students at the beginning of 2020, and then COVID hit. So everything, you know, stopped and we all ended up on Zoom and social media. And at that point in time, I started to read what adults were saying to each other on social media. And I was horrified at how just downright nasty they were. And I'm thinking, kids are seeing this. Do you not get it? So then again, obeying God, I shifted my focus to parents and said, okay, parents, you need to be the CEO of the family, just like you were in your corporations, and determine the values you want to instill in your children.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's gone from there.
And it just went from there. So how did you come to learn about this? Like, was this something that you were brought up with, that your parents modeled? How did this come about for you?
My parents modeled it, but I never even thought to put it into any process until God put the dear student in my heart. But yeah, my parents were always kind to everyone. They would drop, you know, the neighbor got sick. So you make dinner and you make it a little bit extra, take it over to the neighbor. Somebody had a baby, did the same thing. So-and-so broke his leg, go down and shovel the snow. I mean, it was just, that's how I was brought up. And, you know, and that included manners, please and thank you, the basics that were all there. And yes, that was all how I was brought up to be. And then today, when I started to work on the book, I did so much research on kindness and everything I can get my hands on. And I thought, but some of this is complicated. These are busy parents. Let's keep it simple. So just every day-to-day activities. And yet it's like holding the doors. Remove, putting those shopping carts, and it is a bane of my existence, putting those shopping carts back in the cart corral or back up to the store. Don't leave them in the middle of the parking space for the next busy parent to come in and have to stop and have to deal with it. Just ease that frustration, and using your words, just saying kind things, or being aware of how you are saying those words. Just
Wow.
little things. And then I watched my nieces and nephews who now have children. And, one puts a little sign up in her kitchen every week. This is the kind thought for the week. And this is it. And I put in my book, one way to connect with your children is to ask the 3 questions. What's the best thing that happened to you today? What is the thing that just drove you crazy today? And what made you laugh? But now, and another thing, I use my nieces and nephews a lot. They say what's the high point of your day and what was the low point of your day. So however it works for you, I'm just kind of, here's my framework. Here's the suggestions.
Yeah.
Make it into your life.
So good. So just going to put this up again for those who are interested in the book. You can get it on Amazon, or you can go to journeyinkindness.com, and Raising Kind Children, How to Become the CEO of Your Family to Create Lasting Impact and Change. And you also have a kindness journal here as well, acts of kindness checklist.
Yes.
Teresa, can you share maybe a story as an example of the power of this, in terms of, just a small act can...
Yes. And I can use, you've heard this one before, but that's okay. I actually used it with another group, and it seems to resonate more with more people. And that was, I was having lunch, and the restaurant was a little busy. So we had to wait a little while for the server. And when she came up, what do you want? We're like, well, we have a couple of questions. I don't know. I just got here. What do you want? And we're like, okay. Somebody's having a bad day. So our food did come, and it was right. But every time she came to the table, it was like sandpaper. She was very abrasive. So when we were done and we had our checks and, the little receipt, I wrote on there, you were designed to shine, and a little smiley face and a tip. And I did leave her a decent tip.
Yeah.
That was important. And we just gathered our stuff and strolled on out. And lo and behold, she chased us out of the restaurant and stopped me and said, thank you. I needed to hear that today.
Wow.
I turned around and went, it was just a few small, simple, kind words. Yeah. I changed her day.
Yes.
And you can do that too. Just something, it was that simple. It didn't cost me anything. It didn't really take any time either. And it changed somebody's day. But it's those simple little things that happen.
Your dogs are agreeing with you.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
My life.
No, that's so powerful. Yeah, we don't realize the impact of a small gesture, and to be able to operate in the opposite spirit too. Because often we could get agitated by that and respond differently, right? So that is so powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I could have said nothing and left her no tip and stormed out, called the manager later, but I didn't. I just changed my perception, changed the way I looked at it, and kind of put myself in her shoes a little bit.
So good. So Teresa, let's switch gears here now, because to when you took the Kingdom Speaker Academy and then went on to take the KIM10 certification, your message was around this subject as well. And first of all, tell me a little bit about why you went through it. Why did you take the Kingdom Speaker Academy training and then certification, and then a little bit about what that experience was like for you?
Yeah, because I want to spread the kindness message. I want it to get out there that, yes, it might be common sense, and yes, you might think you're doing it, but if you really think about it, you could up it a little bit.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure that I'm spreading it and doing it the best way possible. And that's where the speaking came in.
Cool. And I know that you've had other speaker, communication training, so this is not new to you. What was it about this one that was different for you or that you were able to take away?
I was amazed at the coaching for number one, because it was the best coaching I have ever had. And that's saying a lot, because I've had a lot of training in the speech classes in college and things like that. And this was, I got the best advice I think ever from all of you.
Wow.
And I was talking to somebody else earlier today, and I said, just something simple like how to move when you're trying to make a point, what motions to make when you're making a point, was huge for me, because I never knew that. And the way you delivered the critique, it was done. You want us to succeed, and you wanted us to do better and be the best we could be. And it came across when you guys were talking to us. My only thing I said, because I decided I'm going next year, because I'm excited. My goal was to get there and do it.
Yes, you did it.
So I did. And it was beyond amazing.
Great.
But next year I want to be in day 3.
I have no doubt that you will be there. Because you were amazing. So I'm so glad that you're coming back.
Yes. And then aside from all the coaching, and the presentings and everything, the camaraderie, just how we could communicate with people, like-minded people.
Yeah.
And just, you were meeting your best friends that you hadn't seen for a while. It was
so true.
Yes, absolutely.
It's so true. And it's there's something about when you also come together and are doing a common goal, like you're working on something together, and especially something like this where you are speaking and other people are there sharing their stories, and some are very vulnerable. There's a bond that happens because you're walking it out together, supporting one another and just cheering each other on. I find it really powerful, actually.
Yeah, it was. I just lifelong friends.
So good.
And
yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, no, I agree. And what would you say to someone who, because you've gone through, as you mentioned, communication courses in college and in corporate. I know you talked about before to me that you've gone through training in corporate. What would you say would be, if someone's listening today who is considering, because they know that they want to speak more, they want to get their message out, what would you say would be the best advice to give them in terms of what would make it different? What's different about this one compared to, say, what you've taken in the past?
The best, oh gosh, again, it's the encouragement that you want us to succeed. And I think about, different other trainings that I had looked at before I joined GPA, and how much, they were talking $5,000 to $10,000. I got that level of advice and coaching from all of you there, and it was nowhere near that amount.
Or a lot less investment.
Lots less investment, and I just keep going back to, and then I would also, to do it again, what I learned, because I learned it from other speakers, was to just continually ask you questions on how I can be better. I was so enthralled at the time, just taking it all in.
Yeah.
And I think, oh, I should have asked them this. I should have asked them that. Those kind of things. Just take full advantage of all of you.
Of the time. Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. It's so true. And I, as a speaking coach, I know the value of what we bring to the table and deliver in terms of the feedback that the speakers are getting and everything like that. And I will tell you, I've never seen a program give so much value for so much lower investment than is out there. It doesn't devalue. In fact, I believe this could be offered at a much higher price point,
Yes.
and people would still be happy and pay it. But the beautiful thing is this now makes it more accessible, because we're on a mission to raise up more men and women to really bring the voice to wherever God has called you to, but also to bring the message of the kingdom. Doesn't mean you're quoting scripture. It just means that you're coming from the faith-based perspective, that
Mhm.
you have a message just like yours, Teresa, of kindness that reaches people who maybe wouldn't even come inside a church or anything like that, with
Right.
a message that is going to impact their life in a much positive way. So it's really powerful about that. And so I'm so thankful to have met you, and I can't wait to see your message continue to unfold. And I just want to encourage you, keep going, because you have a powerful message, and I believe it needs to be heard in broader circles for sure.
Yes. Great. Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been great.
You are most welcome. So as we close out here, I am going to put up your website again. Is this the best place for them to go for your book?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So this website is Journey in Kindness, JOURNEYIN, kindness, KINDNESS.com. And Teresa's all of her details are there, as well as you can click on about and get this book, or you can get the other book as well, the journal, both spiral bound and paperback, and find out more about her. And if you want to hire her as a speaker, you can go there
Yes.
as well.
It's out
And
there.
she's a best-selling author, motivational speaker, and kindness ambassador. I love that. A kindness ambassador. So good. Any last words you want to leave with our audience, Teresa?
Uh, just go out there and be kind. Simple. It doesn't cost anything and doesn't take too much time.
Fantastic. I love it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. Make sure that you go to her website, check out the details there, check out her book, or share it with someone who you know needs it. I mean, what a great gift also to
Absolutely.
give. Wonderful gift to give. So I encourage you to go and do that and spread kindness wherever you go. And remember also that your voice is an instrument of transformation and needs to be heard. So let it be heard. Bye, everyone.